Hey guys, it is Sunday night. It's been a pretty exciting day. We had church this morning, and out at the Expo Center, there were a ton of people, and it was Brother Bill's last message as the pastor here at Calvary Baptist Church. We just did a parade for him a little while ago, and some of the TV channels have been there filming things, and I know some of y'all watched it from home, but it was awesome. Beautiful day outside. And before I go into the lesson, I want to give a quick announcement because some of y'all leave really fast. Seniors, I need your stuff in. Its deadline was today, so if you have not sent your pictures and things in, I need them really soon, so that we can go ahead and start preparing for whatever we're going to do for Senior Sunday when we start meeting back again in our church service. There's a passage in Scripture in 1 Thessalonians, and 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 12 says, "Now we ask you, brothers and sisters, to acknowledge those who work hard among you, who care for you in the Lord, and who admonish you. Hold them in highest regard and love because of their work. Live in peace with each other." A lot of churches are not as lucky as we are in that we've had the same pastor for over 30 years. That's a really neat thing. My family and I moved here 19 years ago, and we've been with Brother Bill ever since. And I know that many of you listening, he's the only pastor some of you guys have known. And I want to just take a moment and honor him a little bit tonight in this Bible study. I've entitled this Bible study, "Things I've Learned from Brother Bill." I think it might be interesting if some of you, and I know y'all don't really leave comments very much, but if you want, Brother Billisms is what I call them. You know, he says that sin will keep you longer than you want to stay, cost you more than you want to pay, and take you farther than you want to go. I've heard him say that a million times. Some of you guys might remember some other Brother Billisms. If you would like to post those to share with everybody, that'd be neat, or a favorite memory you have. I had the privilege of not only him being my pastor, but I also worked with him and got to see him every day in the office. And I wrote down just a few things that he really taught me, and I wanted to pass on to you guys as an honor to him, things that I found that were really helpful in my Christian walk and in my walk as a man, and maybe it'll help some of you kids. Things that Brother Bill taught me. Number one, details matter. Brother Bill was huge on noticing your environment, noticing what's going on around you. He used to take us places, and we would go inside some church or something and look at it and see how it looked, especially before we built our new sanctuary. We were looking at sanctuaries, and we'd get back out to the car, the staff, and he'd say, "What'd you see? What was the picture on the wall?" And he wanted us to be people that just didn't walk through life looking at straight ahead of us. He wanted us to be people that as we went about our business, we saw we took in the full scope of things. I think that especially as a student, many of you guys as teenagers, you're so blind. You're walking with your eyes down, and you're just focused on one little tiny spot, and you're missing so many things. I was driving somewhere the other day, and it's a drive I've done literally thousands of times, and I noticed a lake that somehow I've never seen it before. And I know the lake didn't just suddenly appear. I just had not paid attention to it. Brother Bill's point with details matter was that if you're going to be excellent at things, you've got to see all of it. You've got to see the good, you've got to see the bad, and you have to be willing to soak all that in and make the changes. The next thing I learned from Brother Bill is don't sweat the big stuff. Now, the expression I know is don't sweat the small stuff, and a lot of people live their life where, the little stuff, they just don't worry about it too much, and you just handle the big things. Well, Brother Bill was kind of the other way around. He really wanted you to focus on the little stuff. And Brother Bill's philosophy is that the little stuff we can control in our life. We can take care of those little tasks. It's the big things that overwhelm you, and his thought process was if you managed all the little things, when the big things happened, you'd be okay. And I think that a lot of us live this don't sweat the small stuff life, where we kind of let things go, or we slack off on our homework, or we pass our work out to the next day, whatever it happens to be, and we just don't focus on those daily menial tasks that we just get tired of. And then something big happens in our life, and our whole life swarms. With Brother Bill, it was the little things that he would correct you on and make you see and make you work on. It was something that seemed so insignificant. And when the big thing happened, he was amazing. He was supportive, and he was there, and big stuff just never freaked him out at all. He thrived in those pressure moments, and really taught me that if you take care of stuff, you don't have to worry about the big things. The next thing I learned from him was be generous. Most of you may not know this about him. He probably killed me for saying it, but he's such an incredibly generous person. And the things that I saw him do over 19 years with his finances to help people, just crazy things. And I don't want to get into them because that's his own personal thing. I just say, just for instance, years ago when Marty was the children's minister here, you could buy the pastor for a day. The little kids could, and he would take them to McDonald's or fishing or something like that. And I know with my son and others, every chance they got, they bought Brother Bill. And he would take them for ice cream, or he would take them fishing for a while, and he'd pay for all that out of his pocket. He was just always doing something, always giving somebody something, always noticing where somebody had a need. If he sensed that somebody was less fortunate than he was, he went over and above to try to provide. He always felt blessed by the church, and he felt blessed financially, and I feel like that he was just such a giver. And if we could learn anything from him, is to be generous. Another thing, and maybe the last thing, because I don't want the video to be super long, is be consistent in growth. Brother Bill, he told us several years ago, he was in his early part of 70s, he kind of just turned 70, and he said, a lot of pastors could coast and just serve and draw a check, and it would probably be okay. He said, but I don't ever want to do that. I want to be better. I want to be more. And that if anybody on this staff doesn't want to move forward and grow, it's time for you to go. He was always reading books. He was always handing us books. I talked to him the other day. He had read 9 books in like the last 2 weeks of quarantine, just consuming things. And this is... within 2 weeks of retirement, he's still just devouring every book he can lay his hands on. He consistently pushed the people around him to grow. He was consistently doing Bible studies with people and mentoring folks, and he consistently was the same person. He was never satisfied to be just status quo, and he was never satisfied with the people around him to be just status quo. He was always pushing people to grow. So if I could say to you guys as a tribute to Brother Bill, things I learned from him, spending time with him, as paying honor to him, as 1 Thessalonians says, I tell you guys again, details matter. Don't sweat the big stuff. Take care of the small stuff. Be generous and be consistent in your growth. Don't be happy with where you are. Push yourself. Push yourself to be a stronger Christian. Push yourself to be more. Push yourself to shine for the kingdom. I feel like very soon we're all going to be meeting back together again. I feel like that I think the government makes an announcement tomorrow, and we'll be doing some stuff. It may be very different. I'm almost 100% confident we're not going to have that mission trip in June. As of right now, I have not heard that camp has been canceled. So we're still kind of have that open. I know some of the other churches were telling me that their camps have been closed. But right now, as far as I know, ours is open. No matter what ultimately this summer looks like, I'm going to try to give you guys a great summer experience with some activities. They may not be the same things we've done in the past. We may have to get creative with them. But very soon we should be able to do a little bit more, meet with some folks, and try some different things. And I just ask you guys to be supportive of those things when we try to do them. If you get a chance, you want to drop a comment, Brother Billisms or something that he meant to you, that'd be neat. Others can read the comments here. underneath the video, and be sure and share the video. Lord, I just come to you in prayer, and I thank you for the years that we were allowed to have Brother Bill as our pastor. Bless him as he becomes an associate on our staff, and as Luke comes to be the new pastor of our church, Lord. And I know Brother Bill's excited about this transition. I know that the church is excited about this transition. His message this morning was about Timothy taking over, and Lord, it's going to be an awesome time. We know that you're going to bless. Thank you for the way you've loved us, and thank you for allowing him the health to serve and the patience to be with us for so many years, Lord. We thank you, and we love you. All these things we're praying.